Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the second edition of Italy Corporate Day by Euroland Corporate. I'm so pleased to be here today with Andrea Allegrini, Investor Relations on Lindbergh SpA, which
Thank
is
you.
definitely one of the most interesting companies in the small and mid European scenario right now, focalizing, of course, in network management, HVAC, circular economy, but we'll see probably more into details. And of course, to start well this interview, let's define probably a little bit better what you do, because I mean you've been evolving a lot over the years. You started as a, probably simple, we can say, logistics network management provider, and now you became way more integrated with HVAC, with the circular economy, and of course the network management. How would you define the company now? How would you present the group to the investors?
Okay. First of all, thank you for hosting us. So Lindbergh, now we are celebrating 20 years of history in 2026. Actually, Lindbergh started as a consultancy company in logistics. So we evolved a lot, making mistakes. And today we are basically divided into three business units. The historical activity is, we call them network management services, which is basically made of Lindbergh delivering complex logistics services to service technician companies with the final aim to improve the productivity by delivering spare parts during the night and offering additional services, always aimed at increasing the productivity of those engineers. Then we have the second business unit, which is waste management and circular economy, where we deliver complex services in the Italian territory for luxury industries and complex companies with the final aim to build specific processes for the waste management, for the industrial waste management. And the third and the last one is HVAC, where we basically buy local companies in installation and service activity in HVAC, so heating and cooling, with the final aim to become the first player in Italy.
Okay, no, interesting, because you do a lot of things,
Yeah.
but it's probably a competitive advantage because, of course, you have evolved. But what I could say, what actually is so interesting to highlight, is that you evolved a lot. You were able to adapt to different market situations. You became well integrated. So can we say that probably this ability to adapt and integration is your main competitive advantage? And how you actually, in terms of strategic initiatives, what are you actually carrying out right now to strengthen this competitive advantage in the long term?
Yeah, we truly believe that the capability to adapt, evolve, and decide quickly was the key for our success in the last years. It means that we, as the management of Lindbergh, we need to seek for opportunities, so to keep our eyes and ears open, to better understand where is the best potential for our long-term growth, which is an approach we share with our investors. In terms of strategy, as you know, we are carrying out a roll-up activity in HVAC, which is for us a flywheel for our long-term growth. And we are also carrying out some interesting organic growth in our traditional business unit. And of course, we are also able to evaluate, even for those two traditional business units, some M&A opportunity.
Okay, so you mentioned, of course, HVAC, but of course there are other business units. Probably HVAC is probably the main driver for you, and it will be. But looking at the market right now and all the business you are in, what are for you the market opportunities, and how you trying to leverage these opportunities in the future?
Okay, you know, our history has always been made of carrying out complex services and doing niche services that traditional players in the market are not willing to deliver to our customer. Both HVAC and waste management have a huge upside potential in terms of growth because of the fragmentation of the market. Just think about HVAC in Italy. We can count more than 12,000 companies. So the space for growth in this case is really interesting, not just in terms of integration and aggregation of numbers, but also of trying to build something different. So putting all these companies together, share the expertise, and bring our capability to deliver complex projects and to apply our logistics model to help those companies in working better and increase the productivity of those of our engineers. And at the same time, also, waste management industry is a very traditional business, really oriented to quantities and not to services. So even in this case, our capability to study complex projects for our customer, huge industrial group, is probably the source for our future success also for this business unit.
I think you have already demonstrated to be good, because I mean numbers speak for you. 2024, but of course H1 2025 were excellent results. Solid top line growth, margin growth in all divisions. So of course the business is growing, but looking probably forward, in terms of objectives that you have for the next 3 to 5 years, what do you think they will be?
Okay, for sure, growing by acquiring companies will be more and more our main driver of growth. But it's not just a matter of putting all the balance sheets of those companies together. But again, it's also a matter of trying to build something different with the aim to become a recognized brand at the national level. Of course, it's not easy. We don't need to change too much on the companies we acquire, because they made business, they made money in the past year, so we don't need to turn them upside down. So we need to act carefully to be able to keep the people inside and build really something unique in Italy.
Okay.
So yes, we are not just the first mover in doing roll-ups in HVAC, but we are an industrial player. So we want to apply what we learned from our customer in the past year. So how to improve the productivity of those companies.
Okay, it's clear. And of course, as I said, the results in terms of business are clear, are visible to everybody. But of course, the results in terms of market, financial market, and stock exchange, because the stock price, especially this year, has increased probably more than 100%.
Yeah.
So of course, the financial market is reacting accordingly to your business results, which is great. But so looking from an investment perspective, why do you think Lindbergh would be a good investment opportunity, especially for French investors right now?
Looking at us, we are still a micro cap, but companies in general are made of people. So as long as these people share the journey and the value, the past maybe can be replicated even for the future. So what we share and what we want to share with our investor is our long-term view. And of course, we need to talk to our investor, even in case we need to step back and reassess some decision. So we are here to exploit all the opportunities that we can find for our future, and to grant a more and more important value for our company.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm probably
Thank you.
Really sure that you're gonna achieve all your objectives. So really sure.
Thank you, Simon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thank you all for being here, and see you for the next interview. Thank you.